Sue. It's so good to see you again. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
So,
No problem.
so last time, your last session we had, you mentioned a little bit that you were really wanting to have babies, and your husband Tom was not so thrilled with the idea, which led to some arguing between you two. Has that situation, what has happened with that situation since then?
Well, how long ago was our last session?
It was 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, things haven't really changed. We're still arguing a lot. I just really want kids, and he just doesn't see. He thinks they're evil and they're just bad. He just doesn't get it.
That's really common between married couples, and they just have different views of children. How does it make you feel when he says he doesn't want to have kids?
I feel frustrated. Sometimes I get a little angry, but I try to be understanding, and he can't help that, and I can't help that I do want kids, but I just can't imagine not having a family, and he doesn't understand. He just wants to work and come home to cooked meals and a clean house.
So if you guys have had conversations then about having children?
Oh yeah, but they usually end in fights.
How do you feel the conversations go between the two? Is it like you guys can both speak your sides, or is it just kind of like how does it go?
Well, usually it just ends up getting brought up, and then he gets defensive, and I try to explain why it would be a good thing, and he gets even more defensive, and then he gets all angry, and he just wants to go be by himself, so he'll just go to bed or go play video games or watch TV. So it just it doesn't really get like hostile, we just end up not talking.
Okay. So it doesn't sound like there's a lot of communication between you guys, like very effective communication, I guess.
Well, we communicate fine until we have to talk about that.
Are there other situations that you guys both had about?
Sometimes money things. Like, I spent money on something that he doesn't approve of, and he gets mad, and vice versa. I get angry with him if he's spending money foolishly. But I think that's a typical marriage fight.
Yeah. Money is a big argument between a lot of people.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been married? Can you remind me of that?
7 years.
7 years? Okay. How did you guys get along before you were married?
Before we were married? Very well. And it's not that we don't get along now, it's just when we talk about kids. He just doesn't want kids. I don't know what his issue is.
Did he want children before? Like, before you guys were married?
He was unsure, but I figured eventually down the road it would just happen. But it hasn't yet, so.
Okay, so this doesn't sound like it's like a recent thing where he just also doesn't want kids.
Right.
It's been an ongoing, like he's never really been sure about children.
Yeah.
Okay. So, is this something, the children's situation, this is something you'd really like to work on being able to, like, I guess what I'm asking is, what exactly do you want out of like your sessions with me? Do you want like ability to, like, do you just want to have kids, or are you trying to be more open to understanding his side?
Well, I'd like to understand where he's coming from too. Maybe he can come in with me sometimes. Maybe you could talk to him. And I don't understand why he doesn't want kids, but I'd like to understand. But from you, I guess it's just nice to have someone to talk to about it. Someone that doesn't get angry about it. But just if we could maybe work on our attitudes towards each other through this.
Okay. Alright, so I think what would help you through this session is if we started some goals. We'll just start small. So you mentioned maybe he could come in to a session. Would that be maybe like a first goal we start, so maybe we can all talk together?
Yeah, I think he would be willing to come in.
Okay. Alright, so there's our first goal. We'll work on him coming in. Another one is maybe I can help you with some ways to be a more effective listener. I'm not saying that you aren't listening, but maybe if you could just have a conversation without like fighting, maybe if you just.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, we can work on that. And do you have an idea? Any ideas? What would help you two with your relationship?
Maybe we could, every time it gets brought up, we could sit down and maybe like write out our reasonings. And then instead of screaming them at each other, we could just give the paper to and switch off. I don't know.
Alright, no, that sounds perfect. I think that's very good. Because I can see that you really want to be able to understand him. That's very good. And I think that if you did write down what you were trying to say, then maybe it would be easier for you both to read what each other's trying to say. Yeah. Alright, so we got 3 things that we'll work on for next time.
Okay.
Nice talking with you.
You too, thank you. Hi, Jessica. It's
Hi.
good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
So it looks like it's been about a week since our last visit. How have you been since then?
I've been good. It's been kind of stressful lately, so I've just been running around like crazy, but other than that, I'm fine.
That's good to hear. How are things going? Last time we talked about some eating issues. How are things going with that?
Well, I mean, I haven't been eating very much because not like I need to. I mean, I can still lose weight. I think it'll be fine, so I don't agree with the doctors who will be telling me that I need to gain more weight. So, I mean, I think it's fine. I haven't been eating very much, but I feel fine, so.
Well, I see that you're a very healthy person, but sometimes doctors do know best for our health-wise, even when we don't like to hear it. But how much food do you usually eat in a day? Like, how many meals do you eat?
Usually about 2. I eat breakfast and then I usually eat dinner too.
Okay, how much are you eating at those meal times? Like a little, medium, a lot?
I think it's enough. Like, I think I would eat very healthy, and I think I've been counting my calories and really making sure that I am eating like the right amounts for my body weight, and I like go to the gym every day and work out a lot, so that's really healthy. And yeah, I just don't have time to eat, so other than that.
Okay, it seems like you're pretty well off on the health side of things, eating healthy and exercising and those sorts of things. It's also good self-care. So what led you to this issue?
Well, my parents always tell me that I'm not eating enough, and they're always telling me that I'm too skinny, and I guess I always just wanna, I think I'm fine, and I don't like them constantly telling me that I need to eat more, 'cause it's just annoying. And then when I was at school, I tried out for the volleyball team last year, and I made it, and so just being around those girls a lot, I think really made me just maybe I don't know, I just want to look like them, and they're all so pretty and skinny, and I want to be like that.
So your experience on the volleyball team really influenced your self-image and your self-perception. Okay. Do you think that this is something that has progressed negatively since your experience with the volleyball team? Has it gotten worse, gotten better?
I think it might have gotten worse. I guess I've gotten really involved in it, and just being around the girls all the time just makes me really aware of how much I eat and what I look like and everything. So I definitely think that maybe it could have had a negative thing or a negative side of it.
Okay. Are you on a calorie counting diet? How many calories do you eat a day?
I eat about 1,200 calories a day.
Okay. Now, are you eating it? Are you binge eating? Are you puking? Are you doing any of those things?
No.
Okay.
I'm just not eating. I don't think that's bad, is it?
And not eating? Well, our bodies were created to eat. Eating food is what gives us energy. And
Yeah, that's true. I guess I need energy for volleyball.
yeah.
I just don't want to get fat.
Well, if you're eating healthy and you're participating in volleyball and you're working out, going to the gym, participating in those activities, it's not gonna affect your body in a negative way.
Okay.
So are there any goals that you would like to set for this program that we could work towards so that you have something to focus on?
I think the biggest thing would be, I really want my parents to be happy, and I don't want them to be worried about me. So if we could maybe work towards coming up with a diet, or just maybe different eating patterns that would make them happier.
Okay.
Then I think that would be good.
So a sort of meal plan that we could have laid out to show them. Okay. Were there anything else? Maybe eating a certain amount of times a day.
Yeah, that could be good.
Okay.
It's just hard to find a time, I think, a lot of times.
Yeah. it's hard to find time on busy days. And then lastly, we usually do about 3 goals. What about working out a healthy amount of time, like 3 to 4 times a week on top of a healthy diet, and see in a few weeks from now how that's affecting you?
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay. Well, I'll meet you again next week and we'll see how things are going. Thanks for coming in.
Hi Jill, how are you today?
I'm fine, I'm good, I'm feeling good. How are you?
Good. I'm great, thanks for asking. Thanks for coming in today. I know
Yeah.
It's hard to fit time in your busy schedule, but I appreciate you taking the time to come on in.
Yeah, thanks.
So how's your week been? How are you feeling?
Well, I feel good. My head hurts a little bit, and you're talking a little bit too loud, but
Okay.
my week's been good.
Well, it sounds like maybe my voice is too loud for you. I'll try and lower my volume. Is there a reason why your head hurts?
Well, I mean, I went out with my friends last night to the bars. We hit up like 3 bars, and all these 18-year-olds, well, they weren't there, but the 21-year-olds, they were there, and they were like, what? She's like 45, and I was like, yeah. I was like drinking with the best of them, so that could be why my head hurts, but probably not. I drink a good amount, so it shouldn't be anything new.
Okay. So it sounds like you just went out with some friends and had a little bit to drink. How much would you say you drink?
Well, I don't really like to measure it. I just like, on the scale of like boring to a lot of fun, I drink to a lot of fun.
Okay. Could you give me maybe an estimate of how many that would be?
Well, I've probably had like 6 shots and like 2 beers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how often do you go out?
I just go out whenever I just do, probably like 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm. And so I know you said that you like to drink to have fun. Do you feel like you can have fun without drinking, or is that something that you usually like to participate in when you're trying to have fun?
I mean, I can have fun without drinking. I don't think I need to drink. I just do it.
Mm-hmm. And I know last time we talked a little bit about your son, and you were worried that you drinking might or affect your son and how he.
Yeah, I do worry about that sometimes. I don't want him to become like me, but and I don't think there's anything wrong with me, but I'm kind of worried that he's going to think that drinking's just fun, and I don't want him to get into it.
Mm-hmm. So how do you think that your behavior, or what do you think your behavior shows him?
I think it shows him that life is just a joke, and you just go out, spend money, forget everything, and just woo.
But you said you don't want him to become like you.
I don't.
So do you think that by continuing to go out with your friends, do you think that will model that behavior for him?
Yeah. I don't see how it couldn't.
Mm-hmm. So is that something that you'd be willing to change in order to benefit your son?
Yeah, I think it's something that I would need to change.
And how do you think you would go about that?
Well, I guess I would just have to not go out so much. And then I guess I would have to cut back on what I drink. Probably drink more water, I'm probably dehydrated. And yeah.
How do you think your friends influence your drinking habits?
Well, since they usually buy the alcohol, they probably influence everything.
Okay.
I guess just to stop hanging out with them as much.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just when we see them while we're at work and not go out.
And how does your son feel about when you come home at night if you're have had a couple drinks?
Not really sure. I haven't really asked him, but his face doesn't look like he approves, but I don't really know how he feels.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel stupid. It makes me feel like I'm messed up and I'm not really a good parent.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you like to go out with your friends and have fun. They usually provide the alcohol, so you don't have to worry about that part. But there are some times when you think that maybe your lifestyle is affecting how your son views you.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I know we've gotten some background information, and now we can better decide where we want to go with this. So I'd like to just set up some goals, and I can see that you're a great mother and that you really care about your son. So what I would really like to do is just help you work on that relationship with him and maybe come up with some ideas to just kind of continue along and be a good role model for your son.
Okay.
Does that sound like something you want to do?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay. Do you have any ideas about some goals and where you want to start with?
I guess I could start by, like, actually planning to spend time with him.
Okay.
I feel like if I was actually like, hey, let's go to arcade tonight, then I would be, like, and I wouldn't go out with my friends because I would already have the obligation with my son.
Mm-hmm. So planning to spend more time with him, and just you saying that, I can see great strength in you just wanting to spend more time with your son.
Thank you, that means a lot.
Mm-hmm. So what about maybe limiting, if you do go out to drink with your friends, maybe limiting the amount that you drink?
Yeah,
Something
I think I could do that. I mean, it'd probably be hard, but if, I don't know if I have the self-control to do that yet, but
So maybe working on more self-control?
yeah, and I think that, I think like if I'm not there at all, then I'll be fine, but I think once I'm there, I would just forget everything we talked about, and it would just be drinking time.
Okay. And do you have any other ideas about any more goals you want to set to work on?
Well, I want to run a marathon, so maybe if I like have that motivation, like to not drink, then like, yeah, just be in shape. So then it'll be like, you can't run because you're drunk, like. I guess that'd be a good motivation.
Yeah, that's a great goal, and I know we talked about in our last session how alcohol does affect your health, so maybe if you had a goal to run a marathon, that would really help you, even if you did go out with your friends, to not drink as much.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Well, great. I think we have some really good goals to work on and to strive for, so thank you for coming in again, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.